Okay, welcome to the Hockeyshot training series. I'm Stephen J. Wong, and I train a lot of pro athletes, including NHL, UFC, NBA, Olympians, and young athletes as well. And today, I've brought some special guests for you. We're gonna put you through a serious workout today. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and we're gonna showcase a lot of skills, products that you can find at hockeyshot.com. The man to my right, this is Justin Baker, playing for the Czech Extraliga, the Czech Elite League. This guy can dangle with the best. I'll put him up against any NHL player. This guy can outskate him, outdangle him, and wait till you see the clapper that's coming later. We also have Brody here, an elite athlete, plays 2 sports in university for Dalhousie, football and basketball. We have a hops plyometric trainer. He's gonna test it out. You're gonna see why he can do a 360 dunk. We also have Olivia here, an elite 13-year-old Irish dancer. She's currently the national champion, number 4 in North America and number 30 in the world. She's been working a lot with me behind the scenes. Next March, mark my words, she's gonna be on the World Championship podium. We have my boy here, plays rep hockey for the GTHL, which is, for those of you who do not know, the best league in Canada. He's going to join us today too, and we're going to show off a lot of skills using all the Hockeyshot training aids. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to start right here. And the best thing is, what I'm going to show you today, you can do anywhere. You can do it in a backyard. You can do it poolside. You can do it in a rink, wherever you want, and you don't need any equipment. You need minimal training aids. What you see here, you're going to get the best workout. You're going to train like a pro today, like an NHL player, like a UFC fighter, like an NBA player, and like an Olympian. Here we go, buckle up. Here we have the skills agility cone. These cones are so high tech. It sounds funny because there's not a whole lot of technology you would think that goes into a cone. But what this is anti-slip. These come in 2 different profiles, a low profile like this one and a higher one. But what happens when you're working with high-level athletes and doing very explosive work around cones, you see people sometimes clip the cone, and I've seen guys actually roll their ankle on conventional cones. This, as you can see, it compresses, so you're never going to have that risk. And the best thing is, you're going to see us using this today on the grass, poolside, on a rink. You can use this on any surface. Okay, let's go have some fun now. Okay, first thing is first. Activation and warm-up. Very, very important to have your body primed and ready for movement before getting into anything explosive. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some fundamental movement patterns to activate to start. As you can see, we have the skills cones lined up. We have them approximately 25 yards in length and about 15 yards in width. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do skips. For skips, I want you to activate, really fire. And keep in mind, I want to see proper running gait. Right arm, left leg. So what they're going to do, they're going to go forward 25 yards. Once you get to the end cone, I want you guys going sideways skip. You might find this a little awkward. And what you're going to see on the way back, when you hit the far cone, I want you guys skipping backwards. And what's going to happen here, this will really expose your running gait. A lot of people can do this no problem going forward, but as soon as you try going backwards, you'll see people messing up their arms and legs in the contralateral pattern. You'll see people doing a unilateral pattern, which is not what you want. If you are doing that, work more on it to make sure that you are naturally going to have a proper gait, because believe it or not, if your gait's improper, even on the ice or on the track or wherever, that's going to come out and it's going to be a flaw. It's going to impede your progress. Even if it's not really showing, your mind has to think about it. The more that your mind has to think about, the less you're able to focus on performance. All right, guys, let's do our skips with proper gait. Beautiful. See how explosive they are? They're very light on their feet. Awesome. Yeah, you see Brody's thinking about it. Yes, and you managed to overcome. Notice that Brody just stepped on a cone as well, and there's no problem. There's no slippage. Look at that. You can tell he's an elite athlete because he's able to kind of adapt on the fly. Because at first he's a little bit messed up. Sorry not to call you out or anything, but you know, this could happen at home. He's an elite level athlete and it's happening to him too. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna further go into activation with a more dynamic skip. This time we're gonna do a straight-legged skip. And what this is gonna do, I'm not a big fan of static stretching. So this will dynamically activate your hamstrings, your quads. So you're gonna do more of a skip with a straight leg this time.
Swimmer.
And what we'll do for Justin, because he's more advanced, Justin will demonstrate a swimmer on top. So he's gonna do like a front crawl while he is doing the skip. Alternating touch. The two of you behind Justin can just do your normal running gait pattern. So what this does, this is gonna activate his most mobile joint on the body, which is your glenohumeral joint. Very important to have that active before you do a lot of sports, especially if you're playing like football or basketball or baseball, but important in all sports. All right, let's go, guys. Good. Outstanding. Look at these athletes. Great. Let's try to keep the legs as straight as possible, guys. Really work on that dynamic flexibility. Outstanding. Also very important to note, I always track my athlete's heart rate. So you should definitely have a heart rate monitor. I know it's convenient to have the wrist ones, but the best ones are the chest straps. There are many out there in the market. But definitely make sure you're monitoring that, because I can guarantee you, just from a few laps of activation, the heart rate's already up. Okay, next one we're gonna do a karaoke. This way, sideways, and then we're gonna do a straight skip going that way, then a karaoke going this way, and then a skip going back this way. So very important, hip mobility in sports like hockey, actually every sport really, but especially for hockey players, you need that hip mobility. Without that, in that athletic position, in the hockey stance position, what happens is if you're lacking hip mobility, you're gonna get a lot of injuries. You're gonna feel a lot of pain in your lower back eventually. So you gotta keep it mobile. Karaoke is a great way to start activating, creating hip mobility. For those of you who do not know what it is, we have Justin here demonstrate. So he's gonna demonstrate a standard karaoke. There you go. He's gonna demonstrate what we do for more advanced athletes. He's gonna do a high knee on the front crossover to really get more hip mobility going. He's gonna demonstrate the high knee step over. So as you can see, he's really emphasizing more hip flexor being engaged now, more dynamic. So maybe on this run, we'll have Justin doing the more advanced progression, which is a high knee step over karaoke. We'll have Olivia and Brody demonstrating the standard karaoke. All right, guys, let's do this. Beautiful. Skips, skips. Look at that explosivity on the skips. Beautiful. Okay, fantastic. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna start getting some of the fundamental movements involved. Very important always to be able to lunge, squat, bend, twist, push, pull, and have proper gait. So we always cover all of these in the activation and throughout the workouts. So what we're gonna do to start here, we're gonna do a walking lunge. And then when we get to that corner marker, we're gonna do From the athletic position, we're gonna do a narrow squat to a lateral squat. But look at my head height. I'm still in the athletic position, my shoulders are back, my posture is good, my hands are at the side here, and then I go into the narrow squat, lateral squat. Narrow squat, lateral lunge, whatever you want to call it. Again, not bobbing up and down though. All right guys, here we go. Excellent. And you see everyone, it's pretty much a 90-degree front knee, 90-degree back knee bend. I know the general rule of thumb is not to have your knee go over your front toe, but I like to have it a little bit less than that even. Because the amount of activation that you get by having your knee further forward is not worth the amount of stress you're putting on the actual knee. As you can see, these guys are demonstrating it perfectly. We have some fantastic posterior chain development here. For this one, we want our feet kind of pointing as straight as possible. Good. Note that everyone's still using proper gait movement. Outstanding. Improper gait there, Brody. Like I said, so when you're doing stuff backwards, a lot of times, even for elite athletes, it exposes a lot of these improper movement patterns. So that's something that I like to determine, create an assessment right away, very early on in training when I'm working with an athlete. And what happens is, that must be corrected. Because if you have an improper pattern, improper balance, a dysfunction, or an asymmetry, what happens is athletes can get to a very, very high level while still having these imperfections. What happens is you get very, very good at doing something with very poor form. In other words, Brody, for example, he can slam dunk. He can do a 360 dunk. But what's happening is with improper function, you're actually putting undue stress on the joints. You're going to lead to an injury eventually, and he'll never be at his optimal. So once we work with him for a few months, that 360 dunk turns into a 360 windmill. All right, hockey shot, boom. Okay, now the fun's gonna begin. Getting primed up, working up a sweat here, heart rate's up a little bit. We're gonna do some primal movements here. Very, very challenging. It looks very, very easy. It's not as easy as it looks. So what we're gonna do, Justin's gonna demonstrate, just in this area here, very slowly he's gonna demonstrate a bear walk with heavy activation into the shoulders, very light contact on the feet. Yep. You see his light contact, his feet are just tapping along. And then he's gonna demonstrate coming backwards, doing the same thing. Now, after that, he's gonna demonstrate a sideways bear walk. So he's gonna be less piked, he's gonna be more of a plank. Now his hands are gonna cross over, his feet are gonna shuffle. His feet do not cross, but the hands will cross over. Excellent way to start firing up that core, providing functionality, and getting a sweat on at the same time. So what these athletes are gonna do, we're gonna start this cone here. Forward bear walk for 25 yards. Sideways bear walk to the right, 15 yards. Backwards bear walk, 25 yards. Sideways bear walk to the left, 15 yards. Let's do this. Beautiful. As you can see, very light contact with the feet. You're not crawling along the ground, you're just tapping with your feet. Heavy activation into the shoulders. Very, very functional. Outstanding. Plank out a little bit more, Brody. Again, we want this in the sideways in the plank. You're not gonna be piked up, so we want to flatten you out just a little bit, Brody. Flatten out a little bit more like a plank. There you go. Beautiful. Well done. Beautiful, guys. Fantastic. Okay. You guys need a water break? No water. No, you can't. Okay, everyone take a water break now, guys, at home. Grab a sip of water. Guys, grab a sip of water. We'll cut the activation for now. We're gonna come back and we're gonna do my favorite thing on the planet. This is the secret weapon to all my athletes.